there's this whole group of people that were born onto the planet in the 30s, the 40s, and a little bit the 50s. It's really more the 30s and the 40s. So just take a moment and think about people or yourself born in the 30s and the 40s. And it might be grandparents, might be parents, and they might be on the other side as well, some of them. And I'm just tuning into all of these people born in the 30s and the 40s. There was some great music. But there was also a lot of interesting. There was a lot of despair in a lack of acceptance, but there was also a clearing of like this whole Victorian way. Give me a moment. It's just a big grid. They're lifting off. Okay, so let's just do that and see if you notice a shift. Taking a deep breath in, holding your energy and awareness in your line, and take a moment to recognize that there is a thread between you and ancestors, people that you know who were born in the 30s and the 40s. Holding your energy and awareness in your line. Invite your higher self, body divas, higher self, and teams to feel into all of these threads that are connected to people on the other side, to people still here in this world who are born in the 30s and the 40s. And invite your higher self, body divas, higher self, and teams to call upon guides, advisors, a crew to help them lift any inappropriate grids off the planet at this time. If they're on the other side, they can still lift any of the grids that they anchored in onto the planet at the time of their birth. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. And or any grids that they anchored into that were ancestral and old patterns, historical, that they were holding so they could pull it at the time of their departure. And if they're still here in this world, or if you're still here in this world, invite an angelic crew to gently hand those threads of all of these old grids to an angelic crew and invite them to lift it off the planet in a gentle, graceful way. And you are essentially just more the eyes on the ground. You're not touching any of those grids. You could even have like a headset and a clipboard and a pencil and be pointing. You lift that grid, you lift that grid, lift that grid, and you just hold space for the lifting of all of the grids. You're not lifting the grids. You're witnessing all these people on the other side and still here in this world, lifting those grids. And you do not have to die to lift a grid. So if you were born in the 30s or the 40s and you're listening, you do not have to die. Just have a crew. Lift the grids that you came in to lift. Breathe, balance, and stabilize. And whenever we are feeling a lot of grief and sadness, explore the idea that you are a grid worker. And the grief and sadness is more of a yellow fuel light gauge of like, oh, grid that I am connected to, that I am here to use my position here in the physical dimension to make a request for that grid that no longer serves to lift up and off. And it's just a very simple request. Grid clearing crew. Grid clearing crew. Whatever it is I'm touching that's ready to lift, release it. And watch the grief and the sadness, even the depression, as more of an indicator of this grid lifting off the planet. I'm going to bring in a super short protocol because all of us tend grids to a certain degree. A short energetic protocol to assist you in helping the release of an old grid lifting off the planet. You take a deep breath in, pull yourself into your line, and invite your higher self, body divas, higher self, and teams to reference an angelic presence that have mastery of lifting old grids off planet Earth. to invite them to gather in a higher realm, to invite your higher self body, divas, higher self, and teams to reference that old grid that some part of you is feeling that is ready for release, for lift, off. Show it to them energetically with your intent, your imagination, kind of far beyond the mind. And then use your position here in the physical dimension to make a request for them to lift it gently off the planet, and for new grids that hold a more connected, harmonic vibration, positive harmonic frequency, be activated, woven, created in the appropriate realms. And then balance and stabilize, update grids, and use your position here in the physical dimension to witness in another dimension those old discordant grids gently being lifted out of the fields of Earth.